All right, so before we get into the actual steps for long division, let's just talk some vocabulary. Okay, there's 3 vocabulary terms you're going to hear me using a lot. One of those is the dividend. That's your original function. That's your starting function. What you do is you take your dividend and you're going to divide it by a number, right? Whatever number you're dividing by is called your divisor. Okay, it's called your divisor because you're dividing by it, right? So I take my dividend, I divide it by my divisor, and then whatever my answer is called the quotient. Okay? Your quotient is your answer. The number you get after you do the division. Any questions on those vocabulary terms? Okay, so here are the steps to dividing polynomials using long division. First, you divide. Okay? Divide, multiply, and subtract. Just bring it on down, bring it on back. Divide. That's the first step. It says divide the left constant of the dividend, right? Divide the left constant of the dividend, this guy right here, by the divisor. So I divide it by the divisor. This gives you the first number of the quotient. So you put your answer up here. Okay? Then what you're going to do is you're going to multiply the divisor by that first number of the quotient. So whatever you just got, you take it and you multiply by the divisor and write it underneath here. Then you subtract those quantities and bring down the next number. Okay, we're just going to keep repeating those steps 2 through 4 over and over again. Okay, you're going to continue this process until there's nothing left to bring down. Once there's nothing left to bring down, you stop. Whatever number's left is your remainder. The number could be 0 or it could be a number less than the divisor. Okay? So you have 2 options for your remainder. You can either have a remainder of 0 or your remainder could be a number. Okay. If the divisor is a factor of the dividend, you'll get a remainder equal to 0. But if it's not a factor, then you'll get a remainder other than 0. And that's the idea. Which, by the way, a way you can check your answer is by taking the quotient times the divisor and see if you get back to the dividend. Right? If you're taking the dividend, dividing by the divisor to get the quotient, you should be able to go in the reverse order. Take the quotient times the divisor and see if it's equal to the dividend. That's the way to check your answer. And that's what it says down here. So let's do this in action. We have 2,179, and we're dividing it by 7. Divide, multiply, and subtract. Bring it on down, bring it on back. Divide, right? Divide is my first step. I divide the first under the dividend by the outside number, the divisor. So I have 2 divided by 7. Does that give you a whole number? No. How many times does 7 go into 2? 0 times, right? We really have 0 and 2 7s. So I'm not worried about the 2 7s. I just want to know the whole number. Okay? 7 goes into 2 0 times. So I put a 0 up top. Divide. Then I multiply. Right? What am I multiplying? 0 times 7. Right? My next step is to multiply. 0 times 7 is 0. So I put that under here. Then I subtract, right? Subtract, and I get 2. Okay, that's my next step, is subtract. And then my last step is bring it on down and bring it on back. You got it. Bring it on down. We bring it on down. And we bring it on back to the divide step, right? We're just going to keep repeating these steps. So we bring it on down and bring it on back. So now we're back up to divide. Divide. What is 21 divided by 7? 3. Where does the 3 go? At the top, right? Divide. Then I multiply, right? 3 times 7. What do I get when I do 3 times 7? 21. Okay, where does that 21 go? Down here, right under this 21. bring it on down and bring it on back, right? Bring it on down, and then I bring it on back to the division step, okay? And I divide. What is 7 divided by 7? 1. Where does the 1 go? Up top. Okay. Divide, and it goes up top. Then I multiply. 1 times 7. 7. Divide. Multiply. Subtract. Subtract, and I get 0. Then what case would I do? I bring it on down. What else do I do? Bring it on back, right? I bring it on down. I bring down you said 9? Yeah, 9. Bring down the 9, and I bring it on back to the division step. Okay? And I divide. So I divide the 9 under by the 7 outside. 9 divided by 7. That's not going to give me a whole number. That's okay. How many times does 7 go into 9? It does go in there once, right? 9 sevenths is 1 and what's 7? Wait, 1 is 7 sevenths, right? How many more do I need to get to 9 sevenths? 2 sevenths, right? We'd have 7 sevenths plus 2 sevenths is 9 sevenths. But really the 2 sevenths isn't the important part. The important part is the whole number. 7 goes into 9 1 time, so I'm going to put that up top. I divide. Then I multiply. 1 times 7. 7. Okay. Then I subtract. So I'm going to put the 7 under here. And I'm going to subtract, and I get 2. And then I what? Celia, what do I do? Bring it down and bring it back. You got it. Okay, now, here's the sticky part. Is there anything left to bring down? No. So this is how you know you're done. If there's nothing left to bring down, right, you're done. You have nothing left to bring down, and look, is 2 divisible by 7? No. So you get to this part where there's nothing left to bring down. You're done. What is 2 called? Okay, left? Your remainder. Good. Okay. Now, ideally, it would be nice to take the 2 and divide it by 7, except for that's not a whole number, right? You get 2 sevenths. So that's what I add on. Okay. I'm going to add on my remainder over my divisor, right? I'm just adding on 2 sevenths, right? That's what my remainder would be. My remainder is 2, okay? And I put it over my divisor. So my answer here is 311 plus 2 sevenths. That's my answer. So here's the deal. If you want to check your work, multiply your quotient times your divisor and see if you get your dividend, right? If you can take your dividend and divide by the divisor to get to the quotient, you should be able to go in the reverse direction. Take your quotient times your divisor and see if you get your dividend.